be our first ever class. I have never done like a class before. We're just gonna pretend it's a class, okay? I'm just making a video for YouTube, okay, to teach you guys. But next time I should make a PowerPoint. But next time, next time I'll make a PowerPoint. But these are the notes for today's class. If you're too lazy to write down the notes with a pen and paper or type it out, then you may just copy the notes. I'll upload this to the website later, okay, for you guys to download and copy. But yeah, take a look at the notes. Basically, today's lesson is going to be on how to get more kills on ADC and how to carry. Okay, so from a bigger picture point of view, if you play chess, this would be an example of chess puzzles, how to win tactically. Okay, not on a strategy level, not on a macro level. We're not learning how to set up objectives or control the lane phase. We're here to learn how to kill people in game. Okay, and then how to kill people later in the game when you have a lot of items, but also you don't want to just like die randomly. Okay, and this is the professor. Okay, it's me, xFSN Saber. I've been teaching at this school for 10 years, and I have tenure, so I don't give a fuck about what anyone says. I can do whatever I want, can't get fired. So anyways, let's continue. The first lesson I have for you guys here for today is that you must know how your champion does his damage. Step 1. If you want to kill people in game, you need to know how to kill people in game. Okay, so you need to know how what your champion's max damage pattern is. Not necessarily an idea that's ADC specific, but specifically ADC needs to know this because a lot of times you feel like you do no damage. And you wonder, why do I do no damage in lane? What am I doing wrong? So let's use an example. Okay, let's say we're playing Caitlyn, and we're in the first 15 minutes of the game. Where does the damage come from? It comes from her Q. Yes, good job, guys. Her Q, right? Let's say you're playing Tristana in lane. Where does the damage come from? It comes from her fully stacked bomb. Okay, so it's very important to know where your damage comes from. Because let's say a 3v3 happens or a 2v2 happens more commonly, and you're playing Caitlyn and then you Q through minions, you did not do your maximum damage potential, therefore you will lose if the enemy team does their maximum damage potential, especially the enemy ADC. Okay, so you need to know where your damage comes from, and especially late game. Late game, things can change. For example, Tristana's damage with 6 items can come from Q. Just get a bunch of attack speed and auto attack 4 times. That's a lot of damage, right? Not just bomb, but also Q. Caitlyn, it would not just be her Piltover Peacemaker, her Q, but also her headshot crits at level 13 with Infinity Edge. Okay, so first step is, do you know how your champion does its damage? If you don't know how your champion does its damage, come up with an idea in your head or watch some of your past gameplay or anyone who plays a champion and see how they do damage and see if you can spot a pattern. Okay, so if you need a habit to help you fix this, one habit to help you is whenever a fight happens, ask yourself, what am I looking for in terms of damage and who am I going to hit? Okay, so for example, you're playing Tristana in lane. We have Tristana Rel versus Jhin Leona. I'm looking to use full stack bomb damage, and the guy I want to aim is Jhin. Okay, and then the fight breaks out, you auto attack Leona, but you don't press any buttons. They overcommit, then you jump on Jhin, press E and Q, fully blow up the bomb, win the fight. Okay, so second step. If there's anything you learned today, wake up. I see you guys playing in the back. You're on Reddit in the back. Turn off your phones, turn off your laptops. If there's anything you learned today, it is this. Okay, you need to have intent when you play the game. Okay, intent is, what do you want? What do you want to do? If you have intent, it gives you direction in what you're trying to accomplish. If you have no intent, you have nothing to improve towards. Okay, if your intent is to do max damage, slowly but surely you will figure out how to do max damage by trial and error. Maybe you try and full damage Saber, and you try and put a bomb on her and she spell shielded it. Now you know that you intended to do full damage on her, but she outplayed you with the spell shield. What do you do next time? Find a way to break it with ulti, or find a way to wait around it or something. Right? You can come up with something. But if you have no intent, you won't even realize she spell shielded the bomb. Okay, when you're playing Tristana. So intent is very important. Why are we talking about intent? The second thing that you need to have in order to kill someone in game is, do you know what they are trying to do? Do you know their intent? Okay, know what your enemy is going to do, especially how they do their damage. Okay, sometimes all you need to know is, if they're running away, if they're chasing you, if they're going to use flash. But more often than not, it's what are they going to do in regards to their damage or their CC. Like if you see a Thresh, do you know he's going to hook and flay, right? Do you see a Leona? Do you know she's gonna E in and stun you and then press R, right? Do you know what they're gonna do when you see the champion? Habits to help you figure out enemy champion intent instantly is every time you see an enemy champion, immediately think of their CC play or their damage play. Okay, I say Lissandra, you say Lissandra ult. I say Brand, you say Brand stun. Okay, and Brand ulti. I say Shaco, you say he presses Q and kills your ass with Halo Blades. Okay, so that's what you need. That's the habit you need to build. If you don't know what your opponent is gonna do, this is very important. Very important. Intent is very, very important. It allows you to see the future. Okay, and being able to see the future will allow you to make plays. So, with these two ideas, every kill can basically be bucketed into 3 different types of kills. Pretty much every single kill in the entire game. It's a pattern. Okay, the first is you kill them and they can't do anything about it. They do not have their damage pattern. You do your maximum damage pattern on their face. They don't have theirs available for whatever reason, and then you kill them. Okay, the second way is you don't have your own damage pattern, but you can outplay their damage pattern. So when they overcommit, you just dodge it, or you flash it, or spell sheet it, or whatever, and then you win that way. Maybe your team cleans up. Maybe you can right-click them to death, something like that. Okay, and the third way is you have your damage pattern, they have their damage pattern. Do you have a solution? And then you can attack and defend at the same time. Okay, so today's examples are going to be with we're going to go through sending it with your damage pattern, outplaying them sending it with their damage pattern, and doing both at the same time. And I have for you 3 champions, probably like 6 examples each. 3 champions being the champions I play right now. Sorry, where's my folder here? Okay, so I have for you Caitlyn, Jinx, and Tristana, because that's all I'm playing right now. See, in my last 20, 30 games, Caitlyn, Jinx, Tristana. Obviously, this idea is not limited to these champions, nor is it limited to this role only. But hopefully, by seeing these examples, anyone from Bronze to Challenger will be able to get something out of this class. Okay, so first, let us start with Caitlyn, because everyone knows that I play Caitlyn. Okay, so what does knowing your damage pattern look like? So let's say with items, because in the early game it's relevant, but in the late game it's most relevant because that's when you can like make big plays and that's when you can carry. Okay, so Caitlyn, her damage pattern when you have items, which if you see here I have 3, 4, 5 items, her damage pattern is gonna come from headshot crit. Okay, so what does that mean? It means that every time a fight breaks out, I'm going to be thinking, okay, I want a headshot crit, and who do I want to hit? And in this case, I do not want to hit Mundo, because the headshot crit won't do anything. It will actually prevent me from being able to headshot crit someone relevant. And how do I get headshot crit? I have to net somebody, which is not going to happen unless they jump at me, or I have to approach with my passive ready. Okay, so if you watch this clip, I'm going to stack my passive, and then I'm going to look to headshot someone that's a squishy. And you saw that I queued the cannon because I wanted to keep my headshot crit. Matt Eats Plants, thank you for coming to the classroom. Please sit down. We don't want to cause a disturbance. So now I have a headshot crit. I'm gonna look for my squishy target. Okay, so I see this. Do you see where we're going with this? So I have headshot crit. Where's the lethal? It's the Vex. How do I get there? Enough word. Okay, and then once I have no damage potential, I run, right? Because remember, we said our max damage potential comes from headshot. Does not come from just auto-attacking someone down. If you just stand here, auto-attack Mundo, you're going to die to Kai'Sa's max damage potential, which is going to be W flash, auto-attack, ISO Q, and then proc passive, right? So you must know that if you have no damage potential, you need to start running, okay? Next, we have the same thing. Sending it with headshots. Same thing. I am stacking a headshot. I'm going to look to make plays only with headshot. You'll see that in this fight, I'm putting a bunch of traps down because I don't have passive headshot. I'm just going to wait until I have headshot. Then I'm going to send it on Tristana here. Ready? I have headshot ready. Flash, one shot, GG. Okay? And that is all you need in order to kill people. That's the first step. This is the first step. Is you need to be able to do this. You have max damage potential. apply it to someone's face. That's a squishy. Okay. We'll show you 4 more examples with 2 different champions. Next, we're going to show you Jinx. Okay. So Jinx's damage potential comes from Zap and ulti. And once you get a reset, once you get a kill or assist, it comes from having a ton of attack speed and move speed from her passive, right? So if you watch this clip, we're going to look for a Zap and an ulti, okay? Either one. So we watch this fight. I'm like really low, but does it matter? Not really. I'm going to look for a fat Zap and ulti. You see it? It's on Karma, all right? Instantly got the reset, then kill Echo. GG, okay? That's all you need to do. Step 1. Do you know how your champion does damage, okay? And then here's just another example. Sorry, that's the wrong one. Here's another example in laning phase where you don't just one-shot people. You'll see that I'm going to look for Zap only, okay? So I look for Zap, hit the center, nice, got the kill. And then I have a reset, and I'm fighting a Caitlyn with no damage potential because we saw the net, we saw the Q, which means we automatically win because I have reset, right? And a second Zap. GG, very easy. Another really easy example is just on a bomb, I'm ahead, and Ashe has no arrow and no Q stack. She has no damage potential, instantly killed, right? I can do my max damage potential. She cannot do hers, she cannot fight. Okay, and then we'll use this one as an example. Last one, this Tristana quad. Remember, you do your max damage potential as long as they can't do theirs, right? Vlad is feared. And then when I have no damage potential, I'm just chilling. Okay, these auto attacks are kind of fake. They're not fake because they're doing damage and they're kind of distracting the enemy team. But and then I can't actually make a play until I have my E back, which is right now. And then I can send it, essentially, right? It's a very simple play. I'm under no threat, under no pressure. They're aiming my teammates, so then I can just full DPS, okay? Very simple, okay? Now, here is the intermediate section, okay? This is where the enemy has their damage potential, and you have no damage. What do you do? Now, this is relevant for most of the class because you guys are all dirty inters, and you grief the laning phase. You come out of laning phase, 0 and 3, you do no fucking damage, and the fight breaks down, you need to try and do something, but you don't know what. This is what you do, okay? So, let's use, I have 4 examples for you here today. This is the first example. Ahri is coming from bot, right? And if you look at their team, one way you can practice this is you press tab and then you say who can engage, okay? So on the enemy team, it's basically just Ahri. So you can see I'm stacking headshot. I know Ahri is coming from bot. The instant she charms me, I'm going to cleanse. Bet. Cleanse. Peace out. See ya. And I didn't really do anything insane here except outplay her engage. That's all I need to do is cleanse the charm, flash the Q. Oh, Paul, thank you for gifting more. Oh my god, thank you for gifting another 10 subs, bro. Oh my god. Anyways, yeah, all you have to do is outplay their maximum damage combo, and then you will win naturally. Okay, and then let's watch this one. This one, the title kind of gives it away, but here we're watching the Poppy stun. Because it's the only CC here. So the instant she sends it, I'm gonna flash, right? So the instant she sends it, I'm gonna flash, and then I'm gonna stack. I'm gonna put traps here, and I'm gonna and hopefully they step on one, which they do. They really do here, right? They really stepped on a trap here, and I killed one. And then that's all you need to do, okay? Is outplay their main engage or their main damage potential. Usually with flash, sometimes with movement ability like Tristana W or Caitlyn net, but a lot of times with movement. I'll show you movement one last. But here is one. Tristana, I'll use Tristana example. Gnar, what you see Gnar with a full rage bar, what is he gonna do? He's gonna jump forward and ulti you and stun. Okay? So the instant he goes for it, I'm gonna jump away. That's the plan. Okay, so he went for it, I jumped away, and I don't have to play this perfectly, right? I got stunned by Bard. But all I had to do, I did the most important part, which is outplay his play. Okay, I didn't have to do my max damage here at all. Okay, and then last is here you'll see that Pike ulti is lethal, right? What do you have to do? You just have to dodge it. Okay, so here you see me. I'm gonna dodge a Pike ulti 1 time, dodge a Pike ulti 2 times. How can I do this? I know exactly what he's gonna do. I know exactly what he's intending to do, and I am just playing to counter it. Okay, so these 2 things can do it separately. One is looking for your damage. The other is trying to divine your opponent's intent. Now, if you can do these 2 things at the same time, well, not quite at the same time, one after the other. The first is attack. Do you have lethal? The second is defense. Do they have lethal? And then how can you outplay it? Okay, so I actually have about 10 examples for you here, but I'm probably only going to play like 6 of them in the interest of time in class. I know you students are busy, right? Everyone's working nowadays, second job in this economy. Here, let me show you a very simple one, okay? This one, we're going into a team fight. I'm TPing into a team fight. And I see Yone. Okay, Yone ulti. I see Wukong. Okay, Wukong ulti. Okay, that's the first thing I think of. So I TP in here. I'm going to auto attack one time. I'm going to dodge Yone ulti. I don't care what happens, but the first thing I need to do is outplay his play. And then I can headshot him. So there, I headshot him and then net him, right? The rest of this is cleanup. They don't really have a response to like headshot and stuff. I mean, I'm just gonna net forward for this kill, I think, right? E flash, because you know headshot crit is lethal, right? Like I said earlier. Here's another one against Viego. What's the first thing you think? You think of stun and you think of Viego ulti. Okay, I see the Viego thing. Okay, stun. Here comes the ulti. Ready? I'm gonna fight. Oh, I outplayed, then I zap ulti. Right? I outplayed. It's important. I outplayed his play first, then I dumped my play on him first. Or sorry, then I dumped my play on him second. Why? Because oftentimes ADC's play takes longer to do than everyone else's. That's just how the nature of the game is. Otherwise, ADC would be low-key kind of broken, right? So yeah, that's why you have to outplay theirs first, and then you have lethal. Usually speaking. Speed at which you kill people, very important, okay? So we used a Jinx example. We used a Caitlyn example. Here's a Triss example. Very, very obvious, okay? We're going to jump in level 2, and you see Alistar, what can he do? He's ground pound. I'm immediately flash a ground pound. That's it. Very simple. That's all I have to do. I have lethal on Jhin, and they only have one response, which is ally Q. All I do is just flash it, right? As long as you know what they're going to do before you jump in, you cannot lose, right? Here's another one, another classic on Hui. If you don't know how to play Hui has to, use a... you should probably, if you don't know how these champions work, you need to go try it in the practice tool so you can understand it. Hui, in this case, I'm going to plan to dodge his E a button. I don't care which one it is. It's probably fear. He did fear. But even if it was EE, I was ready to flash it, right? And so I had lethal with bomb. And then I flashed his lethal with my... I outplayed his lethal with flash. Okay? And then you guys kind of get the idea, but here's a few more. Make it a little bit more obvious. You see Vex. What's the first thing you think of when you see Vex? I think of the fear. Okay? So I have lethal with bomb. I'm going to send it, and I'm going to flash immediately. He's going to melee fear, right? He tried to melee fear, flash it, GG. And you don't even have to play it well. You just need to just play it, right? When you've already done the hard work, the rest of it just comes easy, okay? And then let's use maybe like a late game one. Here, is this a late game team fight? Sure. This one, we'll end on this one because I think the video is running a little bit long. I mean, class is running a little bit long. Here, just watch how I zap ulti and also outplay Viego ulti. That's it. Okay? Kind of similar example to earlier, except now it's a long team fight. Keep in mind, if you're trying to practice this while watching this fight, if you're focusing on attack, look at zap and ulti targets. If you're focusing on enemy intent, try to predict what the nearest champion will do. In this case, it's Viego, and then it turned into Senna, and then Caitlyn, and Darius. And then if you want to work on both, attack with Zap and ulti without thinking, okay? Acquire your targets without thinking, and then focus on enemy intent, okay? And that's the trick. So here, after reset, I'm going to kill this Darius, and then Azir is spawning, so then I'm going to trap him to prevent him from going into melee range on me, and then I'm going to zap him. And then I'm going to zap him and it kills him. Okay, and that's the end of the game. Okay, so if you can put all these things, really all these two things together, not only will you be able to A, pick up more kills, that's the gold level. Do you know how your champion does damage? B, outplay the enemy, applicable to every level, honestly, especially at the higher level when you don't have any damage, you need to outplay with movement. And then C, do both at the same time, then you're a beast. Okay, now before class ends, does anyone have any questions in the chat? Anyone have any questions before I peace out? What if their play is not outplayable, like a Fed, enemy, Katarina, or Garen? Good question. If it's not outplayable, you can bait their attention by standing just outside their engage range, but not close enough to actually die. That way they can focus. They intend to kill you. They're spending mental process to try and figure out how to kill you, but then they can't actually. It's distracting them. That's what you need to do. Can you use the bathroom, sir? This is not high school anymore. You can use the bathroom whenever you want. You have a Caitlyn laning phase outplay example. Caitlyn laning phase outplay example. How's this? This is not laning phase. I don't know if I have a Caitlyn laning phase outplay example. But there are many, many, many examples, I'm sure. Like here, this one. Is this laning phase? End of laning phase. Sylas sends it on me. I dodge his second E. I trap because the only way we can kill him is to hit a Q, and trap guarantees Q, and then we finish. Right? And that's it. So hopefully this is what you're looking for. What if you don't have flash? That's fine. Sometimes you have lethal, but you can't outplay their lethal, so then you can't send it. You just must wait until they use their abilities on someone else, like Yone ulti someone else, then you can go. What do you do against a full dive combo like Nocturne Zed? You wait until they use their abilities on someone else, then you send it on them, because clearly you cannot outplay them with if you have no sums or anything, right? Maybe if you have GA, you can say GA is going to protect me against Zed combo, so I'm just going to jump on Zed and kill him. How to apply the knowledge consciously in game? Just like I said, you need to build habits that this is second nature. First, do you know how you do your damage every single fight? Can you do it every single fight when they're helpless target dummies? If the answer is yes, then you move on to the second. Do you know what your opponent is trying to do at any given time just by looking at them within half a second? And usually that just means you look at the champion. What does the champion do immediately? Do you know that? And then you can put these two together. You should be able to kill and outplay without thinking. That is the idea. Can I apply this as a support? Yes, you can of course apply this as a support. How you do your damage instead of damage now with CC, let's say you're playing Thresh, how can I hit the hook, right? I'm looking to hit hook. Who am I looking to hit hook on? Maybe I'm going to hold hook until I can hit an important target instead of hooking the orange right in front of me, right? Okay, it looks like that's all the questions we have today. Thank you for watching. If you want to attend class or you want to ask questions after class, feel free to come to class on stream, twitch.tv/xFSN Saber. I hope you guys found this video entertaining/informative. And let me know if what kind of lessons you want to see in the future, okay? Thank you for watching. And class is adjourned.